Hey everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life here for another Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. Here is this scrap lift. We are both going to use that as our inspiration today. And I'm also doing this as my Christmas in July. So my goal here is to just highlight this photo in the best way possible. I absolutely love this photo from last Christmas. It was actually taken in November, like on Black Friday, and my little heading I had on my Instagram when I took this photo was, I am staying inside and staying away from all the crazies who are Black Friday shopping, because my sister had gone out and I thought she was crazy because I've done it once or twice and it's just crazy. And I know it's a big thing in the States, but even in Canada now, they have turned it into their own. I guess we have turned it into our own, and it happens up here now too, and it's just nuts. So I stayed inside with my lovely cup of coffee and my comfy socks, and just happily stayed away from all the crazy. I'm going to pull from the newer-ish collection that I got last year. I do believe this is crate paper, I believe. And I love it. It's got pink, it's got green, it's got red. I like red for Christmas. We all know how much I struggle with red and green, but when it's Christmas, I love it. So I also love, though, that it brings in pink because it just softens it up a little bit and just doesn't make it be like in your face. And this green is more of like a teal anyways, so this collection is right up my alley. So I'm going to go ahead and, like the scrap lift, I'm going to use the upper part with these beautiful Christmas trees. I love that pattern paper. I love both sides of it too, so you will see me highlight it. And how I'm going to do that is there in this scrap lift, there are two little corner pieces that it's there, and I'm going to use that to highlight the back of that pattern paper. So you see that really pretty red because I kept looking at it and I loved it, but I wanted to do the trees. My photo was taken right by the tree. I'm also kind of highlighting in my photo I got a new what do you call that mat that goes under the tree mat, is that what it's called? That's not what it's called, but I got a new one of those this year, and so I wanted to highlight that too, and I felt like the trees just really kind of help represent that all. And then I saw this paper and I wanted to use one of the lines to just kind of break apart the two pieces of pattern paper, and there was one that says, I think, the magic of, or this is magic, or something along the line, something about magic. It's not really a Christmas saying, but it still works, and that was exactly what this needed. It's just a little pop of something to kind of separate the two, and it's got the red, so it's tying in red, and when I add the little corner pieces, it all kind of just comes together. So I'm loving that. I found this little chipboard piece that says hot cocoa and fuzzy socks. So no, I'm not drinking hot cocoa. It's coffee because I love coffee. But you get the vibe of it. It's all good. And then just to have a nice little softened layer there, I'm going to use this piece of vellum. I received this from a viewer, actually. She sent me a whole bunch of vellum, and I am slowly working through it all. I love it. So I use it whenever possible. I keep a couple sheets on my desk, so I just kind of remember to go to it, because I sometimes forget that I now have it. But it's always the perfect little piece, and it softens. Vellum softens everything, so that's perfect. I do fussy cut out one of these houses. I'm starting with the blue one just because I liked it. It was my favorite house in the collection. But if you see this, there's not a lot of blue. So I probably could have made it work. I really probably could, but I am going to switch it out, which you will see me do in just a minute. The other thing I did just a little bit ago is, you saw when I cut that tree paper, it was a bigger slice. The portions of this layout I found really needed to have that piece be 3 inches. So I think I had it like 3.5, or it could have even been 4. I think it was 3.5 though. and that was not working. It really needed that 3-inch mark to really give it the right balance. That this is from Raquel Bowman, so that Raquel had created in that layout. And so I went back and I trimmed it so that the proportions were right. And then you can see I had another version of this photo, just a little bit smaller. So I trimmed it down to see how that was going to work and if I like that. If I remember correctly, I don't think I stick with this. No, I do. I stick with this size. It just was a little bit more not in your face. And that sounds silly because you want to highlight your photo, but I wanted to highlight it without it being like it looked out of place, if that made sense. So this smaller size still gets the job done. You can still see the cute photo and all of the things I'm trying to highlight, but it's just a little bit more compact. So I really love that. And my title is going to be Hug in a Mug because I love that. I think that's the cutest title. It's one that I have had in my... Another thing that I do with Pinterest is I have a board called Titles, and that's where I grab a lot of titles from. And as I'm just scrolling and I see, even if I just see a layout that has a really cool title, if I like the design, I'll pin it to my scrapbooking board. But if I like the title, I pin it to my title board. So that way I can reference it and use up these really cool titles. So it's not just like Standing by the Tree or whatever it needs, a basic title, which I will use, and I do use them, but sometimes it's nice to just kind of have these fun little plays and just do that. So really love that. I went ahead and I'm going to use that as my title. You can see I added the pink in there. Again, just trying to highlight the little pops of pink that are happening within this layout. It's a layout about me, so having the pink, it just works. And then I'm going to add a couple of these little ferns here. I love those. And then these little tags, and that basically wraps up this layout. I add a little mug down at the bottom and a Christmas tree to tie in the pink. So please make sure you hop on over and check out Crystal. She is doing this awesome series every single day this month, and I've really been enjoying it. So make sure you go on over to her channel. I'll have the link below. And if you are playing along, make sure you use her hashtag. It's hashtag OTBWPP, so off the board with pineapple papers. And I will be back one more time this month to play along because I just love this series and I can scrap lift all day long. So you're going to see my finished image coming up here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.